In ancient Egypt, the art of mummification was deeply intertwined with the belief in an afterlife, a journey that was meticulously prepared for by a caste of specialized workers and artisans who formed what can be called the families of mummification. These families were composed of skilled individuals who spent years mastering the complex, sacred procedures required to ensure the deceased's body was properly preserved for its eternal journey. The process of mummification itself could take up to 70 days and involved a series of elaborate steps, each performed with a profound sense of reverence and ritual. First, the body was washed and purified in the sacred waters of the Nile. This act of cleansing was essential for preparing the body to meet the gods. A special priest, often wearing a mask of Anubis, the jackal-headed god of the dead, would then oversee the removal of internal organs, which were separately preserved in canopic jars, each protected by a different deity. The heart, believed to be the center of intelligence and emotion, was carefully left in place, as it would be weighed against the feather of Mat in the afterlife to determine the soul's worthiness. After organ removal, the body was dried using natron, a type of salt with powerful desiccating properties, effectively halting the process of decomposition. This step could take up to 40 days, during which time the family of mummification would begin preparing the linens and amulets required for the next steps. Once dried, the body was carefully wrapped in hundreds of yards of linen, often interspersed with protective amulets, and inscribed with spells meant to guard the deceased in their journey through the underworld. One of the most prominent amulets was the scarab beetle, symbolizing rebirth and eternal life. Each layer of wrapping was a solemn affair, often accompanied by prayers and incantations. The final layer was a shroud that bore the likeness of the deceased, thereby ensuring their identity in the next world. The body was then placed in a series of coffins, each more elaborately decorated than the last, culminating in a grand sarcophagus that would house the mummified remains within the tomb. The tomb itself, often constructed with the same care and intricacy as the mummification process, was filled with items the deceased might need in the afterlife: food, furniture, jewelry, and even servants, depicted on the walls in detailed hieroglyphs. This profound devotion to the afterlife underscores the belief system that defined ancient Egyptian culture, highlighting the critical role played by the families of mummification in connecting the mortal world to the eternal. In ancient Egypt, mummification was not just a ritual, it was a meticulous and complex process reserved for the dead, particularly the pharaohs and the elite. The art of mummification extended beyond the priests and embalmers to involve entire families who specialized in different aspects of the process. These families, bound by generations of tradition and expertise, played an essential role in ensuring the deceased's journey to the afterlife. The initial step was performed by the embalmers, who began with the removal of internal organs. Known as the In the ancient land of Egypt, during the reign of the pharaohs, mummification was an elaborate and sacred process preserved through generations by specific families, whose sole duty was to ensure the safe passage of their rulers into the afterlife. These families, known as the Embalmers Guild, were revered and held a significant position in society due to their specialized knowledge and intricate skills. The Embalmers Guild consisted of several prominent families, each responsible for different facets of the mummification process. The family of Ankh, renowned for their prowess in evisceration, was tasked with the delicate removal of internal organs. This task required remarkable precision and reverence, as it was believed that these organs held the soul's essence and needed to be preserved in canopic jars guarded by the four sons of Horus. The heart, considered the seat of intelligence and emotion, was often left within the body for its crucial role in the afterlife judgment. Next, the family of Nephri, skilled in desiccation, undertook the responsibility of drying the body using natron salts. Their method of completely dehydrating the corpse ensured its preservation for eternity. This family's secret techniques, passed down through generations, were coveted and guarded fiercely. The third family, Sekhmet's kin, masterfully applied the wrapping process. They used linen strips imbued with resins and oils, intricately weaving them around the body in specific patterns, symbolizing protection and eternal life. This procedure was accompanied by incantations and prayers to protect the deceased in their journey. Finally, the family of Thoth was responsible for the intricate detailing of the mummy's exterior. They adorned the body with amulets, jewels, and masks, all meant to symbolize power and provide protection. They painted divine inscriptions and spells from the Book of the Dead onto the coffin to guide the departed through the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. Altogether, these families performed their sacred duties with an unwavering commitment to tradition and religion, ensuring the pharaoh's spirituality and kingship remained undisturbed in the afterlife.